Declutter your life, the rule to stop unnecessary purchases. We live in a world where it's easier than ever to make purchases with just a few clicks or taps. But while the convenience of shopping has skyrocketed, so has the clutter in our homes and the debt in our wallets. If you find yourself constantly buying things you don't need, it's time to take a step back and implement one simple but powerful rule to stop unnecessary purchases: the 30-day rule. The 30-day rule helps you take control of impulse buying, ensuring that every purchase you make aligns with your values and brings real value to your life. Let's explore how this rule works and why it's such an effective tool for decluttering your life. What is the 30-day rule? The 30-day rule is simple. Whenever you feel the urge to make a non-essential purchase, don't buy it right away. Instead, write it down, make a note of the price, and revisit the decision in 30 days. During this waiting period, you'll have time to reflect on whether the item is something you truly need or simply a fleeting desire. At the end of the 30 days, you may find that the urge to buy has disappeared, or you may realize that you don't need the item after all. If you still want it and feel confident that it will add value to your life, then go ahead and make the purchase. The key is the pause, giving yourself time to consider whether the purchase is really worth it. Why the 30-day rule works. 1. Curbs impulse buying. Impulse buying is one of the biggest contributors to unnecessary purchases and clutter. Whether it's something you saw in an ad, a limited time offer, or just a random craving, these sudden urges often lead to regret. The 30-day rule puts a barrier between your impulse and the actual purchase, helping you avoid buying things you don't need in the heat of the moment. 2. Promotes mindful spending. By forcing yourself to wait 30 days before making a purchase, you shift from impulsive to mindful spending. This pause gives you time to think about whether the item aligns with your values and priorities. Mindful spending ensures that the things you buy truly add value to your life, rather than just filling up space. 3. Reduces clutter. Most of the things we buy on impulse end up as clutter in our homes. They may provide a brief moment of satisfaction, but over time, they often lose their appeal and simply take up space. The 30-day rule helps you avoid bringing unnecessary items into your home, reducing clutter and creating a cleaner, more organized living environment. 4. Encourages financial discipline. Not only does the 30-day rule help reduce physical clutter, but it also promotes better financial habits. Waiting before making a purchase gives you time to assess whether you can afford the item without stretching your budget. Over time, this discipline leads to greater financial freedom and less stress about money. 5. Teaches patience and gratitude. In a culture of instant gratification, the 30-day rule teaches the valuable lesson of patience. Waiting for something, rather than buying it on impulse, helps you appreciate your existing possessions more. You begin to realize that happiness doesn't come from acquiring more stuff, but from being content with what you already have. How to implement the 30-day rule. 1. Create a wish list. When you feel the urge to buy something non-essential, instead of purchasing it immediately, write it down on a wish list. Note the item, the price, and the date you first thought about it. You can keep this list in a journal, on your phone, or even on your computer, whatever works best for you. 2. Reflect during the waiting period. Over the next 30 days, reflect on the potential purchase. Ask yourself questions like, do I really need this? Will this item add value to my life, or is it just a temporary desire? Do I already own something similar that could serve the same purpose? Can I afford this without going into debt or dipping into savings? 3. Reevaluate after 30 days. Once 30 days have passed, revisit your wish list. You'll likely find that some of the items no longer seem necessary or appealing. For the items that you still want, carefully consider whether they are worth the cost and will bring long-term satisfaction. If the answer is yes, you can confidently make the purchase without guilt or regret. Real-life example. How the 30-day rule helps. Let's say you're scrolling through social media and see an ad for a new gadget that catches your eye. The excitement builds, and you immediately feel the urge to buy it. But instead of making the purchase, you jot it down on your wish list, along with the price and the date. Over the next 30 days, you reflect on the gadget. Do you really need it? Does it solve a problem in your life? Or is it just a fun distraction? After a few weeks, the initial excitement wears off, and you realize that your current gadgets serve your needs just fine. By waiting, you avoided a purchase that would have only added clutter to your life. Final thoughts. Declutter your life, one purchase at a time. The 30-day rule is more than just a method to stop unnecessary purchases. It's a tool for creating a more intentional, clutter-free life. By giving yourself time to pause and reflect, you gain control over your spending habits and make room for the things that truly matter. Minimalism isn't about deprivation. It's about making thoughtful choices that align with your values. With the 30-day rule, you'll learn to appreciate what you already have, curb the urge to buy on impulse, and ultimately live a more fulfilling, clutter-free life. So, the next time you feel the urge to buy something you don't need, take a breath, write it down, and let the 30-day rule work its magic. You may be surprised at how often you realize that less is truly more.